Hey Luma, hey Jello. Can you guys go ahead and let me know if you can hear me okay? Cool. Okay, cool. Glad you can hear me okay. Hey Maki, glad you can make it to the stream. How's everybody doing so far? I know it's today is Wednesday, so we are in the middle of the week, and I am glad I get to stream with you guys again. So very happy to see you all, and I'm glad that we can start doing this again since the last job that you guys are already aware about didn't really let me stream because physically it was kicking my butt. So definitely glad to be here. I did mention it in my Discord, but today's stream I'm going to be working on a commission that was requested by our friend Jeloetta, who I know is here. So thank you very much for the commission. Definitely appreciate it, and I am excited for you guys to get to see it. Since Jello is also a streamer, as everybody here already kind of knows, you will be able to see the creative process for this new piece. So I am excited for this one. Hey Kyra, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So let me go ahead and open that file. I had a blank one here. My tablet had a update that it wanted to do, so I just wanted to make sure that it was the pen pressure wasn't messed up like it did the last time it had an update. So let me go ahead and get that open. So Jello requested a profile picture featuring Meringue and Jello. So it's a half and half sort of files. So that's what I am going to be working on tonight. And this was something that we sort of were discussing with each other today. And this was kind of what I ended up proposing to Jello with. Jello already had a sort of idea that they had in mind, and I kind of just went along with it and sketched this out to show my interpretation of what they had in mind, and they approved it. So this is what we're going to be working on tonight, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be getting this one done before the end of my usual time. So once this one is finished, I do have another piece that I'm going to be working on, and it is a gift art for somebody who watches these streams at times when they are able to. And I did get their permission to stream that, so I am excited to show you guys that one as well. So this one is pretty much already sketched out, so I'm just going to lighten it up a bit and get started on the final line art. Now this one originally, when I first sketched it, it was actually flipped, where Meringue was on the right and Jello was on the left. But then when I was looking at it, I was kind of like, oh, well, it, you know, it looks kind of plain, and you can't see like the headset. And so I ended up flipping it, um, so that way we do see that. The next stream be the randomized Pokemon? That, you know, I'm not entirely sure yet. I've been kind of in an artsy mood lately, so yes, Meringue is smiling. I wanted everybody to be happy. You know, the streams are fun. Everybody's happy, so that's the theme I wanted to carry on with this one. And we don't want any sad faces. So, but yeah, as for the randomizer, that will be continued. It's just right now I'm kind of in a artsy frame of mind, and I've also been sort of preoccupied with the new Pokemon games that came out, Violet and Scarlet, which I just finished the main storyline for Scarlet last night. And I'm not gonna talk about any spoilers for those of you who either haven't played or are not that far along. But it was a fun game. I will say that much. I kind of absolutely destroyed the Elite Four. It was actually kind of funny. I kind of took down all their Pokemon with one hit, and that left it feeling a little anticlimactic in a way, just because it's like, I remember, you know, some of the other games, it's like you really had to be careful with how you went along in the Elite Four, because they could trample you. And this one, I just kind of stomped them all down. But other than that, yeah, it was a fun game. And I was kind of laughing because earlier a friend of mine was telling me that she had just started playing today, and she already found 2 shinies, one of which was one of the new Gen 9 Pokemon, and I was like, what? How did you already manage to do that? Although Maki also found a Gen 9 shiny, which I am absolutely jelly over. Luma, I wouldn't be so sure about that, because from what I've seen, people are finding shinies pretty easily this generation. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know if they changed the rates. But like, even I don't usually have the best shiny luck, and I ran into a shiny Rockruff just like out of nowhere. And it was kind of like, whoa, what did that really just happen? And it was definitely a very nice surprise, for sure. And I certainly won't argue with it. Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, Luma. It's visually, it's very, very rough around the edges. There's a lot of display issues with like lighting and shadows. Um, and by that, I kind of mean there have been times where like I'd be standing and then the shadow would disappear and it would be bright and sunny and then it would be back and then it'd be gone and then it would be back. And it was kind of perplexing because it's kind of hard on the eyes. And it really was kind of hard to look at because of that. And it definitely was hard on the eyes in that regard. And then of course the glitches. So many glitches I've seen posted online. I personally have not really encountered any serious ones. Luckily, unlike some other people who encountered some very horrifying glitches. So I consider myself lucky that I haven't encountered anything particularly devastating in that regard, because after I saw some of the things that I did online, I was really expecting a lot worse, and I'm very grateful that it didn't end up being like that. But yeah, it was definitely a mess in some places. And there was a couple times where I was pretty certain that I was gonna clip through the map somewhere and just sort of disappear, I guess. And thankfully nothing like that happened, but I was definitely very, very concerned. And I saw Pokemon like clip through rock walls, and in some ways it's kind of funny, but then in other ways it's like, wow, they really did not they didn't clean this up very well. And it sure led to some things happening. And I feel like there's a lot of things that needed to be fixed that the developers really didn't get to. So there's been a very large public outcry regarding the quality of what was sent out. And personally, I would have to agree with the complaints that have been going out, because as fun as the game is, when you have Bethesda level glitches, you have some things to work on there. Yeah, well, see, I don't know how far you are in the game, Luma. So there's a response that I have to you for that, but I'm not really sure if that would count as a spoiler or not. So I don't really want to say anything. But if you're worried about getting to higher up places, all I will say is that you will have access to that. It's just you'll have to wait a little bit before you have access, but you will be able to get to Yeah. There's various upgrades, and I guess it's not really too much of a spoiler. One of them is you get to jump really high, so that will be how you get up there. And another one is you can climb up vertical spaces. So like you can climb up rock walls and whatnot. So you will have access to places later, I promise. Cause yeah, there was multiple times where I would see a spot where there's like an item and it's like, okay, well obviously I'm supposed to be able to get up there, but I don't have a feasible way of doing that. So how am I supposed to get up there? And there was a couple times where I did manage um to get up to a spot that I don't really think I was supposed to be able to get up to yet. And I think it had more to do with I was just messing around and I managed to get up there, but uh, the upgrades will help in the future. That is totally fair, Jello. Honestly, I personally didn't really have any major issues, but visually it's not perfect. I will say that much. It's definitely very far from being perfect, and I I really wish that they had um, taken more time to get it developed to where it needed to be. Obviously, that didn't happen, and so we ended up with uh, not as good of a product as we could have had, and it's lacking in some areas. But overall, I would say that I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it for sure. I do like the open world feel to it. You definitely are rewarded for exploring. Instead of being like rushed to, oh hey, you have to do this thing right now. No, they really don't push you to like, you don't have to, do a certain task immediately. You can go wandering around in, this forest and see what items or Pokemon you can find, or you can literally just go anywhere and you can explore wherever you want without there being some sort of punishment for it, which I do think was really nice. I like that I wasn't being rushed to get things done, because I hate when a game pushes you to do everything a very certain way, that feels forced. But it was kind of fun exploring the various environments that were there too. Yeah, this game definitely does not uh, push you to do things like, oh, you have to do this right now and you have to do this in this particular order. Like I ended up looking up like what places were recommended to do in what order, and I ended up doing things a little out of order than what was suggested. But I didn't really have any any problems. Personally, I know there are some things that definitely, if if I had done them out of order, it probably would have been a mess. But uh, they do give you more freedom than some of like the older games. So in that regard, it was good. Yeah, yeah, it's the Animal Crossing music again. I like the tracks, especially with the rain and thunder mixed in. You go forward and that's it. That's honestly, and I would try to do that, but I would get distracted because I would see a item or a glowy thing in the distance, and I'd be like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then I would go to wherever it is, and then I'd see another shiny in the distance. I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And so it was kind of like following a trail of breadcrumbs where it's like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? And then just kind of being like, oh, well, I ended up at a space that's very far from where I originally planned on going. But I think that made it more fun, to be honest, because it really adds to the fact that you don't have to do things in a specific order. So um, I liked that. It was a step in a good direction, in my opinion. Um, I will say I don't like that they didn't do what they did in Legends Arceus, where shinies can appear on the overworld, but they don't make a sound and they do not sparkle. And that I found was I find it problematic. Hi, Easy. Welcome to the stream. You caught me right as I was about to rant about what they did with shinies, and yeah, it's frustrating because it's like, especially because it's a new generation, so there's a whole bunch of new Pokemon that you're not familiar with, and you don't know what the shinies look like, and because they don't sparkle and they don't make a noise, like a shiny noise like they did in Legends Arceus, how are you supposed to know if it's a shiny or not? You don't. You just kind of go, is that a different color? Is it just the lighting? Am I just not seeing it right? And you don't know. Like I was lucky and I found a shiny Rockruff. But when I first saw the shiny Rockruff, one, no sparkle, no shiny sound, and I was in the shade, and so I was sitting there staring at this little Rockruff that's walking around, and I'm like, is it the lighting? Is it shiny? Or is it the lighting? And I could not tell until I walked up to it and encountered it in the battle. It was like, oh wait, that is a shiny. Uh, but they make it so hard, and it's like, why would you do that? Oh, does it really? Yeah, I honestly didn't look. I didn't notice that, but it's like, how are you supposed to know? So like, yes, was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday, it might have been the day before. I went online and I was trying to look up what some of the Gen 9 shinies look like, because I was like, I need to know in case I happen to run into one. And it's very frustrating because it's like, how are you supposed to know? Why would you do that? Oh, that would make sense. that would make sense easy. Yeah, it was a bad decision on their part to leave out a shiny sound. Especially like, you know, if you watch like some of the online playthroughs that people did and how you would hear the shiny sound and then you'd be like, where is it? Where's the shiny? I need to find it. And then you would just like send people into a frenzy of trying to find this Pokemon. And it was really entertaining, in my opinion, to see that. And for them to just kind of get rid of that was like, why would you do that? And yeah, you know, that would be a really good a good addition, easy, because it's like, I hate not knowing if I'm looking at a shiny or not, because I would be really, really mad if I ran into one, didn't know it, and just walked away and never saw it again. Like, that, I would be not happy. I would be really not happy. Especially because when I was looking up some of them are hard to tell. And that, it was like, oh god, that makes it even worse because they don't sparkle, there's no sound. So it's like you have to walk up to like right in front of them, and you have to look and be like, is that a shiny? Is it slightly off color? Is it just the shadow? Is it the lighting is weird? And you have to like sit there and analyze and hope that they don't run away or disappear or attack you. And it's very frustrating for shiny hunters. And I don't really consider myself a true shiny hunter. But I definitely find it very, very frustrating that they didn't really take into consideration that how much of a problem not having that sound was going to be. Because no, here's the thing that I heard about that, easy. So I was watching somebody shared a TikTok, and it was particularly about how to hunt a shiny Ditto. So the thing that I saw in the video about Ditto is that it, on the overworld, it will disguise itself as a Pokemon on the overworld. So you're not going to see it as a Ditto. It will appear as a Curlia or a Wingull or a Gulpin, whatever. But when you focus on it, like, you know, when you hit like the L button and it like focuses on the Pokemon, it will tell you if it's a Ditto, or it will do 3 question marks if you haven't encountered a Ditto before. So it will tell you that it's not the Pokemon that it's pretending to be. And in the video that I saw, when they were trying to find the shiny Ditto, they had their Pokemon out with them in Let's Go mode. And when they tried to send the Pokemon to attack the shiny Ditto that was disguised, their Pokemon refused to attack it. They tried multiple times to send the Pokemon to attack the shiny Ditto, and it would not. So it seems like there's a, I guess, sort of not, it's not a manual thing, but like it seems like the Pokemon will not attack a shiny. So if that is the case, then that's at least one small consideration that they took into account, because that what you said was definitely a fear I would have had as well, if I had not heard about that. So that is one positive in this case. Yeah, exactly, Luma. It's like, wow, they actually thought something through on this. Um, so I will be interested to see how exactly that functions, because that would be a very excellent little feature, because then it's like, okay, now I know for sure that's a shiny and I need to catch it. So one small good feature, especially since they said they were hunting a shiny Ditto, which since they disguise themselves in this game, it would be exceptionally frustrating if you were to have your Pokemon attack and it knocked it out, and you're like, oh shoot, I just knocked out a shiny that I would have really liked to have had. Yeah, no, I definitely still agree with that, though. It would have been nice to have when I found that shiny Rockruff, because then it would have given me a definitive, yes, this is a shiny and you need to catch it, instead of me sitting there for 5 minutes staring at it and going, is that a shiny? I'm not really sure. I think it might be a shiny, but I'm not 100% sure. And could have avoided all that if they had just added the sound and this, the little sparkle, because that's kind of a big part of the appeal of the shinies, was having that little sparkle feature when they appear. Was, oh look, it's a different color and it sparkles. That it's kind of like one of the biggest features about them, and they took that away, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Because yeah, just like, again, that was one of their biggest features. So it's like, why would you leave that out? Especially like like I mentioned before with Legends Arceus, like Amy was there for this. I don't think she's in stream right now, but I was playing Legends Arceus and I heard a sparkle noise and I lost my mind because I was trying to find this shiny and I could not find it. And I'm still bummed that I didn't find out what it was. I think it was either a Chingling or it was a Hisuian Basculin, but either way, I couldn't find it and I was not happy about it. But that shiny noise was what let me know there was actually one there. So not having that in this new game is kind of not helpful at all. Yeah, and that seems to be what I heard, because another thing that I was reading was that for mass outbreaks like they did in Legends Arceus, so apparently if you beat like 30 Pokemon or more, you have an increased chance of finding a shiny. So I have not tested that yet, but from what I've heard, it seems to be true. And so that's, I guess, another way you can find shinies in this game. So it will definitely be something interesting. Oh, I don't, Luma, I don't think Jello was calling you rude. I think they were referring to the fact that the game doesn't make noises or show a sparkle when a shiny appears. So you're good, Luma. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah. See, it was not directed at you, Luma. Promise. Yeah, so there's some good things about the game, and there's some problems with the game. Obviously, I I think I would have liked the Elite Four to have been a little more challenging, because uh, I kind of like one hit KO'd like almost all of their Pokemon. So it was a little easier than I personally expected it to be. Um, which again, it's it's a game directed at a younger audience, so that has a very big part of it. But when you're one shotting every Pokemon, it kind of takes a bit of a challenge out of it. So again, it's a game with a younger audience intended, so they're not gonna make it like the most challenging thing in the world. But yeah, see, yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed, because even when I got to the champion, I one shot like I think all but one of her Pokemon, and it was kind of like, well, that that happened, I guess. Yeah, it definitely, this game definitely, you found a lot of items, and in some ways it was kind of nice, but at the same time, it it definitely felt a little too easy in some regards. Um, because like I was finding some really good items out there. Like I was finding full restores, and I found a bunch of revives at the beginning of the game, which I was legitimately kind of surprised about, because I remember in the older games, you know, you didn't get revives until like halfway through, and um, this one you were finding them right at the beginning. So it it was really easy to get stuff. Right, right. It's like you would get them like like much later in the game, and now it's like, oh, here's a bunch of revives for you. You're probably not going to need them because it's the beginning of the game, so it's going to be really easy. But have 20 of them just because. Yeah, the rare candies, I didn't find too many of them, but you definitely found them more than like the old games where you would get like one, and that was pretty much it. Um, but yeah, well, and then so like when I so I pre-ordered my game from Pokemon Center, and when they sent it to me, I got a code for 100 Pokeballs, and it was like, yeah, that's right, 100 Pokeballs. You could just redeem that within the after the first hour of the game, and or when you get to the certain spot. But like, I didn't I think I used maybe 40 Pokeballs, and it was kind of like I didn't really I didn't really need it. I will say one good thing about another good thing about this game. I will give them credit for the character customization when you start the game. They did a really, really good job with that. I liked having all the different options. For like the eye option, like they gave you a lot of choices to choose from for like eyes and hair and even the eyelashes and lip color and lip shape. I did like that. That was really cool. And that's what I was gonna get to next, Luma. I don't like that you're only stuck with 4 outfits. And it's like, I get that the character is supposed to be in an academy and, so they're expected to wear a particular uniform, but like, you could have at least given more options or allowed you to mix the items that were available. So like, even if it's a uniform, you still could have had different uniform jackets, different uniform shirts, different uniform bottoms. You could have had uniform related accessories like ties or bows or headbands. There's a lot of things that they could have done with that and they didn't. And it felt really kind of plain in that regard, and it was really especially jarring because when you go to the different towns, you could get different glasses, different socks, different backpacks, different hats, different gloves. And when it's like, okay, that's cool, but they don't go with the uniform at all. And for me, that was, it doesn't go together, and so it just looked really off. It was like, so like I got this backpack that it's like a skeletal backpack, and then it doesn't go with the uniform. And it's like, as much as I love the backpack design, you can't change the uniform at all, and it really just clashes. So it's like, I would have like, even if you couldn't change the uniform colors, because yeah, it's a uniform, you're gonna have set colors for that because that's just how uniforms are. You could at least give more options as to how the uniforms could be mixed. Because if you look at real life, a lot of people will mix up their uniforms, as to establish identity or uniqueness. And having just 4 options just felt really, really lackluster. Yeah, and that too, Luma, what you said, it's like they'll have posters on the storefronts in the game, but none of the thing that they're showing on the store is something you can get. So it's like false advertising. And yeah, in my character, I also have them wearing the winter uniform just because I like the way that it looks better. But it's just like, I feel like they could have done a lot more with it that they really just didn't. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Jello. I was mostly referring to the stores in game more than anything, but you're definitely not wrong. I wish there had been more options to make your character feel more unique. it was just there was a lot of things lacking in that regard, which was honestly kind of like disappointing in a way, because it's like you would see some of the, like, a lot of the NPCs had really interesting looks to them, and there was a lot of NPC designs that I really, really liked. So it was like not being able to customize your character's outfit more just kind of felt a little lame. I will give them props though in regards to your character's expressions. I'm really glad that they actually show emotions as compared to like some of the previous games where it's like something bad is going down and your character is just, you know, standing there and, you know, they're like, oh, cool. Things are happening in the background, but I'm just gonna sit here with a smiley face like nothing is happening. And so like I do like that the character that your character in this game has a lot more personality showing. So I do like that, and I will give them credit for that. Especially when your character is interacting with the NPCs. I will give them credit that they did do a good job with the expressions for that. But I would like to see just like a little bit more, a little more variety in character customization, just outfit wise more than anything. I really do. I like a lot of the NPC designs, though. They were pretty great, and Amy Amy got the brunt of my reactions to some of these NPCs. Like Easy, I don't know if you're still here, so I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on the NPC designs. Like Rika in the Elite Four, I was like, oh, you're trans. Immediately when I saw her, I was like, oh, you're one of us. I did too, Easy. When I first saw her, I was like, oh, he's cool looking, and then they're like, oh, this is Rika and she's part of the Elite Four, and I was like, oh, what? She's so cool. You'll have I definitely want to hear your thoughts, Easy, when you get to that, because I immediately when I saw her, I'm like, oh, she's a trans woman. She is absolutely trans, and I love her. And there was another character where I'm like, oh, you're trans, and so it was like, okay, I like these designs. Oh, I know who you're referring to, Luma. Yeah, you know, her design, I actually really, really like her design, and oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I would have been cracking up at that too, honestly. Um, I personally really like her. Um, but the character that you're referring to, Luma, I really like her design as well. And it was kind of funny because when I saw her, she kind of reminded me of like a younger me. And so it's kind of like, oh, I kind of feel like I'm looking at like a younger version of myself, but like with cooler hair. And what were you guys' thoughts on that? You know, it's funny because I would have to agree with that. Easy. I honestly would agree with that assessment because yeah, it was kind of funny because when I first met him in the game, I was kind of like, oh, this guy's kind of a dick. But then like later on, it was like, oh, I will die for you, and I am helping you with your mission no matter what. So it was just kind of funny how my opinion of him completely changed. To be honest, looking at his design, I honestly wasn't sure regarding age, especially because like when you encounter a lot of the NPCs that you battle when you're wandering around, the ages that you see vary greatly. Like you know, like it's like the first, you know, few NPCs that I battle are like, you know, kids, early teens. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, you know, they're part of this academy. But then it's like you're going later on, and it's like, why is there like a 70-year-old guy wearing the same uniform as us? And it was like, so this academy is open to all ages? Question mark. Um, which whoop, dang it, I did it again. And how do I fix that? Was it? There we go. I always manage to tilt the canvas without meaning to. And I'm like, can we not? That's amazing. That's amazing, easy. Oh my gosh. Is it I have to ask, so is that like a good thing for you, or because I mean like yeah, so some family members, it's like sometimes you don't get along with them, and so it's like if you see a resemblance to them, it's like, oh, okay, I don't like this. Whereas other times it's like, oh my gosh, it looks just like so and so. Okay, see that's good then. I'm glad. Isn't that it's always interesting when something like that happens, because it's like, you know, it's absolutely 100% a coincidence, but then it also feels kind of like fate, because it's like they it's like they just look so much like, you know, so you know, whoever, and it's like, wow, this was just really fated to happen, huh? And just just kind of cool. It's always really cool in a game where like you can find like an NPC or a character that you just really vibe with, and it's like, okay, you know, this just makes it a lot more fun now. So true. Hate when I can't get this line. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's a really good point, to be honest. Like, I remember when I was going to college, and the first one I was going in California. There was a guy in my class, and he had amazing art. Like, he could have been like a professional comic artist. Like, his art was just that good. And I thought he was like my age, and then I ended up finding out that he was like over 40 years old, and it was like, wait, what? But he had like super baby face, so he looked a lot younger than he actually was. And that that just kind of added to the confusion. And not just him, but one of my teachers as well. One of my favorite teachers, actually. He had super baby face, and he looked like he was like early 20s at most. And one of the administrators came in looking for him, and they were like, "Hey, is your teacher in here?" And we all just kind of stopped and looked at our teacher, who was like sitting at the desks with one of the other students, because he would just sit and chat with us. And he got up and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm over here." And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were one of the students," because he had that young of an appearance. And so it was just kind of funny how you would get all sorts of looks for people at college. He was a cool teacher, though. I miss him. Yeah. I had to do the same Jello, because people are like, "Oh, how old do you think I am?" It's like, I don't know. I really don't know, because I'll look at somebody and be like, "Oh, they kind of look like they might be this age," and they're like, "Oh, I'm actually this age," and I'll be like way off, and it's like, I'm just not gonna try anymore, because I am always wrong. Although, to be fair, a lot of people get my age wrong too, so. Yeah, exactly. When I was doing the training classes for UPS recently, there was a lady in my class, and I swear I thought she was in her early teens. Like, she had really a young looking face. And we were talking during a break, and she was like, "Oh yeah, me and my kids, we went to the movies the other day." And I was like, "You have what? You have kids? You look like you're 18." And she had like two or three kids, and it was just like, wow, I was like way off on the age that I thought you were. Um, but I had somebody when I was working at the last warehouse I was at, um, and she thought I was the same age as her. She was 19, and I don't remember how we got on the subject, but she was we were just talking, and she was like, "Oh," and I think she thought I was in high school, and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna be starting college soon, right?" And I was like, "No, I graduated from college like 7 years ago." Wow, that just hurt to say. 7 years ago. Oh my god. Anyways, um, and she was like, "You already went to college?" I'm like, "Yeah, I graduated." And she was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, I'm gonna be turning 29 in a couple weeks. And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Yes." And she refused to believe me until I showed her my ID, and she was like, I thought you were 19 like I was. I'm like, oh, you were 10 years off. I'm like, thank you, but you are way off. And we were all just kind of we were laughing about it. And then later that same day, um, the um, the coordinator of that area, he was having me work on something, and he was having me, sign in, and it was like the day before my birthday, I think, and he was like, "Oh, you said tomorrow's your birthday, right?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "How old are you turning?" I'm like, 29. He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm turning 29," and he also didn't believe me, so I had to show him my ID too, and he was like, "Oh my god, you're like 2 years older than me," and I was like, "I'm older than you," which was funny because I thought he was like in his early 30s, so that that was really funny. Um, but it was just like I can't tell anybody's ages because it's so hard to tell, and I can't guess at all. Just I can't. I'm debating if yeah, I need to keep the line. Yeah, that isn't it funny how it can just happen like that, and it's just like, wait, you're how old? Yeah, I'm this old. No, no, you're not. You shouldn't be that old. All right, we got lines. Now it's time for color. And save. And now I need to pull my color resources. At one point, I had taken a screenshot of meringue in one of the streams, and I have not been able to find that file, and I'm like, what folder did I put it in? Because I know I saved it. Where did it go? There it is! I found it! Alright, now I need my source for Jello. The only thing you found is a steampunk cat. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see, what folder would that be in? That's fair. I know there are times where I'm trying to like find something to get for my brother, and I'm like, I don't know what to do for you. That honestly, I don't blame you. It's hard. Oops, wrong folder. It's always cool when you can make them something, because then I don't know, it feels very personal. I think I'll just use this one, which I think I used it for the last time I did a picture of Jello. It's a very big file. And then where are my... Let's see, they should be in this folder. So first I need... Unless it's still in down. Yes, down. So that's for one that I'm gonna need. Alright, where's the other? Doop, doop. For those interested, I get I get these stock images that I use for like text that I use for textures in designs. I get them off a site that I think I've posted in my Discord, but it's called Pixabay. Jello, you have seen that picture because it's the one that Amy commissioned me for to make the Pokemon cards. Yeah, the person who made the custom Pokemon cards. Yeah, that's what it's from. Yeah, if you don't have it saved, I can definitely send it to you. Because initially I had only sent it to Amy, since she was the one who commissioned it. But I can't remember if I had sent it to you or not. I need to send myself the other texture that I use, which I could have sworn I had it on here on this PC, but apparently not. So let me grab that. Should be under this folder. It's this one. Here we go. I specifically made a server for myself so that I could send myself files that I need access to, and just to like keep track of things that I needed. Yeah. No, you are totally good, Jello, and I can definitely send you the file so that you have it. Because I sometimes I have to go through my phone and move stuff onto my computer, just that way I don't have too many files on my phone, because then my phone doesn't work quite as well as it should. But and there's the other one that I needed, so I'll keep those open. I have two versions of that picture, and the one that was put on the card for you had it was mostly a black background, but it had some color to it, so I will send both versions of that to you. And sent. I'm glad you like it. Considering I think it's about a year old now. Yeah, Amy was kind enough to make me, or to have custom cards made for me as well, and I still like looking at them because they turned out really cool. And it's cool having a almost official looking Pokemon card of your characters. And they had one made of Duskby, and then they had one made of Chime, and I thought they were super cool, and I still love looking at those. Alrighty, so I need to get rid of that. There we go. At one point, I did take video of the cards that were made for Jello, because I happened to be there when they were delivered. And I was very excited that I got to see them in person, because I did not think that I was going to be able to. And so I was very excited to see the cards in person. it was very good timing. It was very good timing for sure. I remember when Amy requested the art for those, and when she told me that they were going to be turned into cards, and I was like, that's really cool, and I definitely want to see pictures of that, because it's like I knew that there was people out there who were making like fake Pokemon cards using other people's art as you pay to have them turn it into like a real looking Pokemon card. So I knew those were out there, but it was on Etsy, and I actually have their page bookmarked. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because they did a really good job with those, and if you ever end up commissioning them, I would love to see what you have made. Hmm. It was Amy who showed it to me. Yeah, I'm not sure which one it is, so I will definitely send that at a later time. But there's more than one person who's doing that sort of thing out there. So I mean, um, you definitely have options. Um, I'll have to share the ones that Amy had made for me later on the Discord as well, because they were really cool. They were definitely super cool. must have been just as exciting as the time he made a orb keychain. Orb keychain. I I'm a little confused there. Oh yeah. My brain's a little it's a little slow. Um, it takes me a moment sometimes to get it running on track. Don't ask me what that was. I don't know. Y'all gotta do the hum. I just, yeah. I mean, like, I listen to music when I draw, but that was not from anything in particular. That was more my brain just, let's do this. Still, you know, I say this every month, but I'm always like, I can't believe it's already X month, and then man, it's flying by. Things are flying by. Yeah. It kind of looks like they're side eyeing, like, oh, what is this person doing? What's going on here? I'm curious. I feel like I need to grab my little emojis that I did for Jello and use that for my color reference, because that is not the file I wanted. I was gonna ask about what you guys are gonna be doing for tomorrow, but I guess we kind of technically already had that conversation on Jello's stream yesterday, so I guess that would be a little redundant. I know in the stream version, Meringue doesn't really have quite as much of a galaxy hair, but I made it extra galaxy because it looks good and Meringue deserves to have good things. Hey program, would you like to cooperate with me, please? Oh, that's why. The layer was locked. It's almost like you cannot manipulate a layer if it's locked. It's supposed to be adjustable. That's fair. We're just gonna go with I think they deserve cool things. Luma has the key. The magical key of magic. That is not the right shape. I do think it's interesting how Meringue kind of started with a not so official name, and then they ended up with a name courtesy of Viper. Yeah, I remember. I mean, I was kind of all for the name myself, so. I mean, it was a cool name, so I mean, like, gotta have fun with it. When the gradient doesn't give you what you wanted, that's when you turn to the airbrush and you say, please do what I wanted it to do originally and do it properly for me, please. I mean, I wouldn't be. I can't really say I'd be the best person to ask about that, but. You found a wireless cassette player. I didn't know something like that existed either, so that's something new for both of us. Oops. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I as soon as I saw it loom, it was like, oh my goodness, it's 3D Dashby. Like you seriously did an amazing job with that, and I mean, I learned how to do some 3D when I was in college, and I actually tried to render one of my other sonas in 3D, and they're very similar to Duskby in that they one are a sheep, and so they also have a full head of fluffy, very fluffy woolly hair, and trying to figure out how to model that was not easy. So the fact that you made Duskby look as good as you did, I was like, holy cannoli, how did they do that? Like, seriously, props to you, because that was like really cool, and I don't know if I could have pulled it off in the same way that you did, because 3D is not easy. They blocked it only for, oh. Yeah, that happens a lot, to be honest. I I honestly have not really done any real 3D anything in quite a while, mostly because I find it to be a complete pain in the butt. And for me personally, 3D and I are not the best of friends. I struggled with it quite a bit when I was in school, and wrong layer. And I can model like uh basic background stuff, or like stationary objects for like backgrounds, but like more organic stuff like plants or characters and stuff like that, that is definitely on the much more challenging side for me. And I definitely struggle with it more. And don't even get me started on rigging. I hated rigging. Rigging was a huge pain in the rear, and I absolutely despise it. It's I would hate where it's like I would think that I would map a certain part of the model to a bone, and then I would go to move it and something on the other side would move, and I'm like, how did this happen? And yeah, it was just very 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 frustrating on every level. And I I can't really say that I miss it. I do like I do like using it for like 3D references, because it definitely helps in getting my art and my designs more comprehensive, I suppose would be the word. But other than that, I don't do nearly as much with 3D as I did back then, and that was mostly because of school. Well, I mean, technically, all 3D modeling is shape based. Even like the characters that you see in like movies and stuff, that they all start with your normal basic shapes. You know, you got your spheres, your cylinders, your cubes, your cones. It's more that's just all a pain in the butt. um, I me and 3D are not the best of friends, and a lot of people who know me in real life will can testify that I am not the best of friends with it, because I find it very frustrating at times. Gotta shrink it down a lot. No, I don't want to tilt it. feel like that's probably good. And then duplicate. Merge down. And then later. I don't want that. Why is it so dark though? That doesn't seem right either. You have to drive 45 miles. Well, I hope that it is a smooth traveling for you. Please stay safe on your drive, and I hope that you get wherever you're going safely. I do have to say it's cool kind of seeing them side by side, especially because now this way you can really kind of see their similarities. Of course, always happy to have you. And so that is good. So I'll probably do quick background, which means I need to drag this here. And then another background. And No worries. See ya. See ya in a bit. Get there safe. So for this, let's see. Why does it only accept? That's a good question, Luma. I actually have no idea. What happened to my toolbar? Oh, there we go. Metabang kind of froze for a second there, and I had quite a few concerns. For those of you who were confused, I thought that it was going to crash on me for a second there, and I'm very grateful it didn't. So basically what I did just now was I took this material from Pixabay, which by the way is a royalty-free stock image, which means that you can use it for projects, commercial or not, doesn't matter. They are free to use, and you do not have to give credit if you do not want to. So yeah, Pixabay. Pixabay's friend for textures and stock images. Anyways, so I took this material and basically I turned it into a custom tile material, like what I used for the screen tones in my comics. So basically I just made a custom one using this file specifically. And so now I get to just slap it on here, and because it's tileable, I can shrink it down or I can enlarge it. And get it to the size that I want. So that's probably good. Yeah, Metabang lets you do a lot of really cool stuff, so I'm totally not biased or anything. Just like Metabang lets you create custom brushes. What do you mean by that? What's not open source? Because if you're talking about Pixabay, it's available to use by anyone. So, like, you don't have to pay for an account or to download anything. So it's open to literally anyone. I mean, not really sure what you mean by that. Because Metabang 2 can be used by anybody, so not really sure what you mean. As far as I'm aware, Metabang does not have anything like that, so I don't really see that as a bad thing, though, to be honest. I mean, the account's more just to. I would say, I mean, it's not even really to keep track of your files because you can save them locally. It's more of a if you want to transfer files between, say, like, if you're like me and you go between like your phone and your computer for Metabang, uploading it to their cloud allows you to transfer files pretty easily. On mobile, you can't use all the. I mean, I've been logged in from the beginning, so I'm not all that familiar with with what they do and don't allow if you're not logged in. But I don't get like spam from them. Like they don't plague me with like emails or notifications or anything. So um I have to say they're at least not like the annoying kind of program where they have to like send you emails and offers and advertisements, every 5 seconds. So they're at least way more trustworthy than a lot of other programs. Let's see. Time for shading. The stock gallery for for Metabang. I mean that's probably true. I mean, again, I kind of had an account from the beginning, so um, I did not really uh, deal with anything like that because I made an account right off the bat. I definitely want to. I am planning on showing up to their stream because Viper is a very cool person, and I definitely want to support them in any way that I can. So I will definitely be showing up for that. Um, when I looked at their Discord group earlier, um, it looked like they were still debating on specifically what day they were planning on doing that. But regardless of which day they end up doing it, I do plan on being there. Man, I haven't I haven't played Among Us in a very long while, and I only have it on my phone right now. But I am I admittedly am not good at that game, because regardless, like I'm almost like I think I've only been the imposter like once in the times that I've played, but for whatever reason I get suspected of being the imposter regardless, and so I oftentimes would get kicked off the ship because people found me suspicious for whatever reason, and 90% of the time I was never the imposter. So the fact I would get suspected regardless was always kind of funny to me, because it's like, am I really acting that weirdly that people are suspecting that I'm the one killing everybody? So I actually I did a drawing a while, like a long while ago about it, because I thought it was super funny that for whatever reason I always got suspected even though I was always innocent. And I don't know if I have it on this PC or not. But I just thought it was kind of funny because I just never really understood what exactly it was that made people seem to think that I was the one doing it when I wasn't. Boy, I thought I had it on here. I guess it's on my old laptop, but I think I also posted it on Tumblr a while back. But yeah, I did a sort of reaction drawing to constantly being suspected, and it's just kind of funny to me that that was always happening. And I think it's because when I play a game like that, I have a tendency to get really jittery, and so I think it comes across as being as a sign of like guilt, and it's like, wait, no, I didn't do anything, I swear. And then, you know, I get voted out, and then it's like, oh, they were not the imposter. It's like, I told you guys. But it's still fun regardless. I definitely think it's a more fun game if you actually know who you're playing with. Um, but it was fun. I didn't have I never had a bad time with it. Um, Luckily, I never encountered a group that was like really mean or anything. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Because if you get somebody who's like just really rude or not nice about things, it kind of ruins the whole experience. But luckily, I did not have that happen. And the last times that I did play Among Us, I was playing with my brother with strangers, and so it was he my brother is very good with like humor and whatnot. So um, he was always better at being the imposter if he got selected. Um, but he even then like he didn't get picked to be the imposter very often either. So my brother would definitely be better at it than I ever would though. I think the I think it really just ultimately comes down to the fact that I am not the best at lying. Um and so I think I would be very obvious and I would give it away if I was the imposter or not. Um so well, I hope that you'll get to participate in the stream because I with Viper is very entertaining and having them around for a stream is always fun. So when they do their stream, I think it will be a super blast and it'll be a good time no matter what. I did very much enjoy when they did the joint stream with Jello and when we were all playing Mario Kart. That was a lot of fun, actually. That was a lot of fun. That's understandable. I don't really like having people watch over my back when I'm doing something either. I've gotten a little more used to it just because when you're an artist, people like to stare and watch at what you're doing, and after a while, you kind of get forced to get used to it. Thor, why are you going in my room, sir? You do not need to be going in my room. You butt. Nosy doggy. No worries, Luma. I will still be here. Wow, is it already almost 8:40? Boy, time flew. Okay. This one ended up taking longer than I thought it would, but I think that might have been because I partially got distracted with conversation. Not that that's a bad thing, because you guys are fun to talk to. Well, welcome back. I'm just now realizing that there was somebody who said they were going to be getting back to me regarding a question I had of very big importance, and once again, they did not get back to me, so I am not happy about that. And let's see, they're not going to be open tomorrow because it's a holiday, which means I'm going to have to call on Friday, and it's going to be ugly. Thank you for getting back to me, Daniel. That was, something I really needed to hear back about, but once again, you have not come through. You can, if there's not a specific mood board that really fits what you're looking for, you can always just send me images that you like that kind of fit the mood that, or the theme that you're going for. It does not have to be put together mood board. Like, if you, let's say, like, you send like a picture of like a daffodil and a specific type of rock or a type of architecture or type of clothing that you like, it doesn't have to be like a put together fancy board. Like, you can just send like multiple images and say, hey, this is kind of the feel I'm going for, and I can absolutely work with that. That it does not have to be like a single image that you send. It is absolutely more than okay to send multiple images and say, hey, this is kind of the feeling I'm going for with this character. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I've looked at mood boards before, and there have been times where I'm like, oh, I kind of like a couple pictures on this one, but it's not entirely what I'm going for. So, um, sending multiple images, like, hey, I like this, I like this, I like this. Um, that is absolutely fine because it's more about getting the idea of what you want, more than having like, hey, I have one single image that I found on the internet that has uh things I'm looking for. As long as I'm getting what I need, it really doesn't matter. As long as um you're finding images that you are specifically um wanting for this design, that is totally cool. One image, 6 images, it doesn't matter. Because I wouldn't want you to like send a mood board and then it's not what you are specifically looking for. Um, so we don't need anything super fancy schmancy about that. I just need a general idea of like what you're looking for. So like I commissioned somebody a few years ago, and I couldn't find like one specific image that had what I was going for. So I was asking them to help me with the design of a character, and basically I sent them multiple images, and I was like, okay, so I like the eyes on this one, I like the hair on this one, and I like the outfit on this one. And they were like, okay, cool, I got everything that I need. And then they threw everything together. Um, so that's kind of more along the lines of like what I am absolutely okay with, because sometimes one image doesn't have just exactly what you're going for. So sometimes it takes multiple images to be like, okay, so I like these 5 things specifically. As long as I know what you're looking for, then that's what makes it a good reference. Yeah, for sure. It's especially handy for like people who aren't necessarily the artistic type, and they're like, hey, I really want to get a character reference, but I can't really draw it out. Is it okay if I send pictures of like what I'm looking for? And it's like, yeah, absolutely, because not everybody is going to be able to draw exactly what they're looking for, because if they could, then they wouldn't be asking for the commission in the first place. Um, so and like even me, like, yeah, I can draw, but sometimes there's things that I can't get exactly what I want because maybe my skills aren't quite at the level that I want it to be able to articulate it quite right. Um, so sometimes I'll commission other people to um, design for me instead. Um, so it's a little too late. Let's darken these shadows. And I've actually I've commissioned Jello before. This was a while back, but I commissioned them to write me something, and just because, like, yeah, I can write stories, like I can do narratives, but sometimes I can't quite get the words that I'm going for. So sometimes having that assistance is just it's really good. Um, but but yeah, as long as I'm getting the idea of what you want, Luma, it is more than okay to send like 6 pictures, 10 pictures, 20 pictures. I don't. As long as I'm getting a good idea of what you're looking for your Meloetta, that is absolutely okay. Because I would rather you send a lot of pictures so I know exactly what you want than not send enough and then it's like, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Um, I want to make sure that I'm getting what you're looking for in the design, because that's what we want. And then, like, especially so you find pictures but they're not quite the color that you're looking for, definitely feel free to send pictures of like color palettes that you like, and that will definitely help as well for like what color you would like, or what color scheme that you would like for your Meloetta. And it doesn't have to be like, again, it doesn't have to be like a fancy schmancy color palette that you find online. Even if it's like, hey, I just really like this color, um, or like these two colors, um, or even if you're not sure and you want my opinion, you can definitely ask me, because sometimes, like, so like in the case for like the Meloetta designs, I usually refer to the song for those. Sometimes when I listen to a song, I have very specific colors in mind. So like when I designed Mayday, when I listened to the song that I used for her, I have the color green in mind, and I honestly couldn't tell you why green, but that was the color that came to mind when I heard the song, and I just kind of rolled with it. So, um, use yellow for, yeah. I mean, like the Meloetta that you designed, Luma. I really like. I like their shade of yellow that you use. Like, normally, I'm not a fan of yellow, but I like the yellow that you used for yours, because it's like a almost like a daffodil yellow, and I have very fond memories of daffodils. So maybe I'm a little biased, but it's a good yellow. Hey Amy, welcome to the stream. Um, I am gonna be ending shortly. As soon as I am done with this image here, but I am glad that you can make it for when you did. So so do I need to... I think I may alter those a little bit. Yeah, so Amy, I actually I sketched this earlier today, and Jello had decided that they wanted to commission me for a new profile picture. So that's how this one came about, and they wanted kind of a half and half with Jello and meringue, and so we ended up with this, and I am happy with it, and I think it's cool to see them side by side like this because you can really see how similar that they are when put next to each other like this. Something. What? For a second there, you had me concerned that maybe I hit that I changed one of the expressions again. Oh, that was probably me going on the tablet to erase some of the highlights just slightly, just so they're not so bright. Oof. Sorry to hear that, Amy. It's kind of crazy because it's like some people are like me where they're like, I found one shiny, and then like one of my friends today, she just got her game today and she found two within like the first couple hours of playing, and I'm like, why? Well, hopefully they're still listening to you, Amy, because how far are you now, Amy? I beat the game last night, and I a Gardevoir outbreak. Nice. You just okay. So you're pretty far along then. Yeah, there in the snowy area, you're gonna see a lot of Greavard. I saw so many of them there. There was so many. I'm guessing it's Pink Hammer. Is it that one? I'm trying not to say names, because of spoilers, but okay, that's what I figured it would be. Um, that's fair. You have a master plan for beating every team. Alrighty. Amy is prepared. Yeah, I am. I definitely want to do. I want to go look for some shinies and see if I can find any more. But my luck isn't always that great, so I am not going to get my hopes up. I am gonna try to get the shiny charm though. So Amy, I am hoping to do some trades with you. if you're good with that. The victory road. So if your Pokemon are over leveled right now, Amy, I'm gonna tell you. So I got my team to level, they were between level 64 and 66, and yeah, I was pretty much one hit KOing all the Elite Four. So they were not particularly challenging, which it the target audience is kind of for kids, so obviously they're not going to go hardcore difficulty and make it impossible for these kids to beat. But I would have liked a little bit more of a challenge. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I'm like, all right, here, I'm finally at the Elite Four, and I was told my team should be mid 60s, and I pretty much curb stomped every single one of them, and it was kind of funny how easy it was to beat them, but it was also kind of like, well, okay, that happened. Um, yeah, no, I don't argue that. BDSP Cynthia was not easy. Um, by any means. I definitely did have a hard time with her. Um, I can't say that about Scarlet and Violet though. So, it was all right. Yeah, the Elite Four in BDSP was I actually found them challenging, which was kind of a welcome thing for me. Uh, so yeah, Cynthia was terrifying. I barely scraped by beating her. That was she was terrifying on every level. Which I mean, it was nice having her live up to her reputation. Um, but it was also like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. But Black, I so the Gen 5 games, honestly, I feel like are the peak of Pokemon games. Like, they peaked with Gen 5 and it's just gone downhill from there. Controversial statement, but I'm gonna stand by it. Gen 5 had a lot of really good features, especially in Black 2 and White 2. The towers gave you a lot of extra gameplay, and it was a lot of fun, to be honest. It has not been the same since then. I feel like it blends a little too much. Maybe I'll desaturate. You would like to do the backgrounds I made? I mean, if you ever have questions on, um, like exactly how I did something, you can definitely ask me at any time. Maybe I'll do... Let's try this. No. Oh, I mean, when I say that, I'm mostly referring to doing like what's the word? Like drawing out backgrounds like buildings and stuff like that. Just kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, I just saw your message, Amy. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. Yeah, when it comes to like simple stuff like this, it's not too hard. Wrong shape. Oh. Okay, that's much better. Okay. Let's... Sometimes you gotta play around until you get it to what you like. And with that, I think we are finished. Well, thank you kindly. Just gonna add my signature, which, I mean, as an icon, you're not really gonna see it, but that was an ugly wire. I promise my handwriting looks way better in person. And save again, because I'm paranoid. But with that, I will go ahead and end the stream for today. There was another project I had wanted to get to, but I didn't think this one was going to take as long as it did. So I might have to come up with something else for Sunday, because I do want to get that done before then. With that, thank you everybody for joining, and definitely appreciate having you guys join in. I'm glad that I finally got to stream again. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. I will be posting this in the Discord for you guys to see, and yeah, so I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your night, and for those of you in the US, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. So have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining.